Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Akmal Jidi bin Fazin, and I would like to discuss about the introduction, environmental impact assessment, which is a EIA. So let's begin by understanding what environmental impact assessment is. EIA is all about. EIA is a systematic process used to evaluate and reduce the environmental consequences of a project. It helps us collect and analyze data before the project commences to predict and manage its impact on the environmental issue. By doing so, we can make an informed decision and take necessary measures to minimize negative effect. So, the practice of EIA has gained global recognition since it's introduced in around 1970. Government and organizations worldwide has adopted EIA as a standard practice to ensure sustainable development. It serves as a vital tool for promoting transparency, accountability, and informed decision making when it comes to projects that may have environmental implications. So now, let's focus on specific case of Mukim Simpang Kanan in Batu Pahat, Johor. EIA was conducted for development project in this region. The project is along Mukim Simpang Kanan. The purpose of EIA was to assess and support the proposed development project. During the EIA process, one crucial aspect is to identify and assess environmentally sensitive areas. In the case of Mukim Simpang Kanan, it was determined that there are no environmentally sensitive sites declared within 50 meters of the project site. This information helped in planning and implementing appropriate measures to protect sensitive habitats and ecosystem. The EIA was conducted to ensure that the project aligned with environmental regulation and guideline and minimize any potential adverse impact. So next, which is a scope of study, the EIA study encompasses an comprehensive site visit to assess the existing environmental condition of the area, followed by an evaluation of the potential effect arising from construction activities. It also provides recommendations for implementing appropriate mitigation measures throughout the operational phase of the proposed development. So for the EIA objective, first objective is we need to define the proposed development. It associate with activities and the necessary requirement for the implementation. So second is identify and characterize the component of the surrounding neighborhood and environment that they are likely to be affected by the proposed project. Third, we need to assess and predict the environmental and social impact that may arise from the development and operational phase of the project on sensitive receptor. Then identify and develop strategy to mitigate pollution, environmental disturbance, and any negative impact during the construction and operation of the development. So lastly, we need to establish monitoring criteria to ensure the effective implementation and efficiency of mitigation measure. That's all for introduction. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our panel. My name is Nurul Hazika binti Muhammad Idris, and I will present about the project descriptions. The title of the project for this EIA report is Cadangan Membina dan Menyiapkan 30 unit rumah teres 2 tingkat di atas sebahagian Road 703, Mukim Simpang Kanan, daerah Batu Pahat, Johor. So from here, the first table shows about the description of the project. The province is Johor. The district is Mukim Simpang Kanan, Batu Pahat, and for the local authority is Batu Pahat Municipal Council. For the divisional secretariat is in Johor. For the load of the area is 703 and the distance is 11.5 km from Batu Pahat district. The next step is about the City Council of Batu Pahat. So for the Department of Sewage, the authority is Indah Water Consortium (IWK). The environment is Jabatan Alam Sekitar Batu Pahat. For the telecommunication is from Telekom Malaysia. Water supply is Run Hills SAJ 9 Berhad. And for the electricity is Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB network. Okay, next slide is description of the project. So the project site is located at Mukim Simpang Kanan, Batu Pahat District, Johor. And the distance to Batu Pahat district is approximately 11.5 km and it covers an area of about 39,740 and 84 acres. It is located at the residential area. So, besides, Jalan Keluang provides the route to go to the construction site of the project. Next, for the amenities at the surrounding project sites, it includes community centers, grocery stores, recreational areas, malls, hospitals, schools, and etc. to serve the needs of the local population. Alright, next. So basically this is the proposed location of our site from Google Maps, which is there are a lot of facilities that already have at the surrounding of our site. Alright, next is project details. The project comprises 30 units of double-story terrace houses, and the region of the project will consist of office, prayer hall or malls, recreational area, and also detention pond that can be utilized through the development. For the common infrastructure utilities also included things like the provision of a three-phase national grid connection by the Batu Pahat Municipal Council and telephone services. There are a wide variety of mobile phone network providers and wireless phone connections that residents can be accessed. So additionally, the project will also involve the construction of necessary infrastructure, including earthwork, roadways, and drainage systems, as well as water supply and sewerage treatment plant. In the meantime, the existing access road is going to have a significant increase in traffic due to the transporting of heavy materials to the construction site. So, it is necessary for the transportation of supplies to take place outside of the peak hour. Alright, the last one is layout of the project. The figure here illustrates the layout of the project that will be constructed, which is 30 units of double-story terrace houses that comes with the detention pond in the layout.
Hi, I am Andik Munira Amani binti Andik Hassan Yamani. Will present on the topic the existing environments at our site, it is the most important content in this environmental impact assessment report. So here we have 6 elements that will be highlighted from this section. I will simply brief these 6 elements in a simplest way first. Okay. Now, let we start with topography, which is it about shape and features of land surfaces. Second is geology, which is will involve in soil investigation. And next is noise, how to prevent the noise pollution at the sites. Besides, we have air quality, which is the process of evaluating and monitoring the composition and condition of the air. And next is rainfall. We have to analyze the rainfall data in certain period according to these constructions. And lastly, hydrographic conditions, which is it including the current flows, aquatic life, water supply and drainage, and the water quality at the site. For the first element, which is topography, it study about the shape and features of the land surfaces on the proposed project area, including the natural and man-made features. From the topographic survey also, it gathers all the data about the natural and man-made features of the land as well as its terrains. The natural features means the existing of vegetation or type of soil at the proposed area, which can be classified and determined into many classifications based on the authority guidelines. And meanwhile, from the man-made features, it can be seen from the existence of the building or any structural building and roads that may influence the site organization or plan before execute the projects. So here we can see the topographic map, which is it different from the normal maps because it can contain the contour line of the area and we can get the terrain elevation from this contour line also. So next element is geology. So for the geology information, first we need to identify which location we are, which is on this project. The project area is located at Batu Pahat district of Johor in Malaysia, and the estimate terrain elevation above the sea level is 26 meters. And we have also the latitude and longitude of the area, which is 1.8368 knot and 102 and 9370 east. And from this geology, we can carry out the soil investigation to get the information and data on the physical, mechanical, and chemical properties of the soil. So the data will produce the result that it will important to be used in determine the designation of the foundation and also what kind of the structure that can be constructed on the land. So here we have sample of block from our project. The next is noise, which is noise at construction site is a common concern due to the various activities produce the source of noise that involved in the construction process, including the usage of heavy machinery equipment, excavation, and pilings. Therefore, construction noise can have negative impact on nearby residents and surrounding environments. At the site, which is located surrounded by the existing residential area, that may be produced the noise pollution during the construction phase. So this impact also can affect the human health because excessive and prolonged exposure to construction noise can have adverse effects on human activities and health, such as sleep disturbance, hearing damage, stress, and difficulties in communication between each others. Besides, its environmental impact produced by noise pollution also can affect the surrounding environment and wildlife. High noise levels may disturb animal habitats due to behavioral changes, habitat displacement, or reduced reproductive success in sensitive species. As a countermeasure, in solving this problem, there are several ways conducted by the consultant to decrease the impact on noise pollution at construction sites. In this project, the application of quieter machinery and equipment during construction may give a good impact to the surrounding and community. The implementing of noise barriers and enclosures while prepare the scheduling and on noisy activity during less sensitive hours can help in reducing the noise pollution also. Therefore, to ensure the compliance with noise regulation and maintain the noise level at site, regular noise monitoring assessment were conducted to determine the noise levels and compare with actual noise before the construction begins. This can help in identifying any necessary adjustment or additional noise level at the sites. So here we have recommendation permissible sound level by receiving land use for existing built-up area according to the guideline from Department of Environment. So for air quality assessment, it is a process of evaluating and monitoring the composition and condition of the air in a specific area or region, or in this case, our project's area. So it involves in measurement analysis an interpretation of various of air pollutants to determine their concentration, sources, and potential impact on human health and environments. So the air quality assessment was carried out by using particle counters at site and meteorological sensors to gather comprehensive data on air quality parameters. The data collection analysis was measured continuously during construction to make sure there's no air pollution occur at site. So there have three elements in this air quality, which is humidity, temperature, and winds. So first, for humidity, which is the means of amount of moisture present in the air of construction site area. That's we call him as humidity, and it is important factor to consider during construction phase, as high or low humidity levels can have various impacts on the construction process and the material that being used. The humidity at construction sites may affect the material performance and behavior of construction materials. For example, high humidity can increase the moisture contents of woods, concrete, and may be potentially leading to warping, swelling, or reduce the strength of the materials. On the other hand, when low humidity, it can cause the materials to dry out too quickly, that may be leading to cracking and shrinkage. For the next, temperature is analyzed and determine the current temperature occur at the sites, because it is important for the construction activities when the temperature may be influenced in curing process, and when the high temperature is then the worker may be reduced their productive of the work that can lead into the disturbance of scheduling of works. In terms of wind assessment at construction involve in evaluation of the wind condition and profile that may influence the construction activities. Therefore, by understanding the wind patterns and speed, it can help in construction planning and designs. Wind speed and direction. The assessment conducted by measuring and analyzing the wind speed and direction at the site that can help in prevailing wind patterns and intensity of wind load structures and materials being used. The material may be subjected to during the construction and throughout their operational lifespan. For the last one, hydrographic conditions, which is we can determine four elements in this section, which is current flows, aquatic life, water quality, water supply, and drainage. So for the first one, current flows, which is it involved in assessment of the water depth, flow patterns, wave action, and sediment transport process. And for the aquatic life, it will identify the sensitive habitat migration, migration patterns of aquatic species, and implementing countermeasures to protect the aquatic life at the river near the project area. So for the water quality, it is important to identify the current condition of water bodies such as rivers, lake, or stream at the project area to make sure the water quality not disturbs during the construction. So we have to make sure all the criteria of the water in a good and in a range of the authorities guidelines, like the value of the pH, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, and others. So for the last one, water supply and drainage, it involves in assessing the water sources, availability, and understand the groundwater condition, which it can help to determine the water supply option for the construction purposes. Like why we have to do the this assessment, because we can know the design or what kind of the length or the drainage that can be implemented in these projects.
So back to me again, Muhammad Kamaji bin Fazil, and I will be discussing the land use aspect of the development project located in Mukim Simpang Kanan, Batu Pahat, Malaysia. So this project is situated approximately around 40 km away from Kluang and can be accessed through Jalan Kluang. Let's begin by understanding the location of the project. As mentioned, it is located in Bukit Sipakanan, Batu Pahat, Malaysia. The project site is easily accessible through Jalan Keluang, ensuring convenient transportation for residents and visitors. During the project environmental impact assessment (EIA) was to determine that there are no environmentally sensitive sites within 500 meters radius of the project location. This assessment helped in ensuring that the project's development does not pose a significant risk to sensitive habitats or ecosystem. The development project in Mukim Simpang Kanan primarily focus on creating residential area. This area cover a space of around 6,428 hundred acre, providing ample space for the envisioned community. The residential area consists of two types of house design: double-story terrace house and double-story low-cost house. This design offers diversity in housing options to cater to different needs and the preference within the community. Each residential neighborhood within the project has its own budget classification. This ensures that there are housing options available for varying income levels, promoting inclusivity and affordability for residents. In addition to the residential house, the project also includes additional facilities for the community. A surau, a prayer facility, will be constructed to cater to the religious needs of the residents. Furthermore, a field within the project site will serve a dual purpose as a detention pond and helping manage water runoff and reducing the risk of flooding in the area. So for the nearest public facility identification, so for the first one is a hotel. There is a just hotel around 7.5 kilo from the site. Next one is a Maple Hotel, which is 5.3 kilo from the site, and the Pine Tree Hotel around 5.5 kilo. So the next one is a school. We can see SK Bukit Broga, 5.5 kilometer from the site. Then the next one is a SMK Convent Batu, which is 8.5 kilometer from the site. Next one is from kindergarten, which is Little Calypso, 8.7 kilo away from the site. The next one, which is I think is the important facilities, which is a hospital. For the first one is a Pantai Hospital, the nearest one, around 3.5 kilometer from the site. The next one is a Sultanah Nora Ismail Hospital, around 7.5 kilometer from the site. The next one is a KPJ Batu Pahat, around 10 kilometer away from the site. The next one is a public service facilities. So for the first one is a police station, around 5.5 kilometer away from the site. Next is a fire and rescue, around 8.5 kilometer from the site. The next one is a TNB, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, around 8.7 kilometer away from the site. So the nearest bank around 5 kilometer away from the site, and the mart around 3 kilometer away from the site. So I will pass to the next presenter to present the other point.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Jadis Ajwad bin Muhammad Zahar. This is for the presentation for environmental impact assessment for AIA report. This is my chapter, which is chapter number 4, entitled Potential Impacts Mitigation and Monitoring Program. This is the table of content for my slide presentation. Number 1, introduction. Number 2, pre-construction phase. Number 3, construction phase, and the last one is post-construction phase. Alright, for the introduction, as we can see, the introduction shows that this chapter will summarize the finding of the impact assessment and offer pollution control and mitigation strategies. The environmental management plan (EMP) developed during the EIA, Describe the method and procedure for reducing impact and monitoring program. For the development and operation of the proposed project, which known as entitled as cadangan membina dan menyiapkan 30 unit rumah teres 2 tingkat in Mukim Simpang Kanan at daerah Batu Pahat, Johor. Alright, for the EMP that I say previous, it contains the three divisions, which is pre-construction, construction, and also post-construction. Alright, for the pre-construction, as you can see at this slide, it shows the table for the pre-construction phase. The project activities is about the land use. The significant impact is since the forest land surrounded in the area, its development changed the way land was used. The mitigation measures, the first one is suggested sustainable infrastructure plan that will improve the region's aesthetic attractiveness. The second one, preserve current plants since it offers the strongest soil defense. Then for the residual impact, the impact of the permanent load development. And the last one is for the monitoring requirement is not available because it's still in the pre-construction phase. Alright, the third one is construction phase. In construction phase, the activity that I can say is the first one is site clearing and earthwork. The significant effect of the hydrological regime as increased flow result from destroying existing vegetation. The mitigation measures is surface runoff will be captured by the sediment basin for the development area. The restoration impact for the water quality, ecology, and also the soil erosion. Monitoring requirement is for the water quality management. The second one is construction of administrative, which is there is a chance that the construction operation will be result in important effect like vibration and noise. So the residual impact is about the noise vibration, and what we monitor is about the noise monitoring. The mitigation measure is to lessen inconvenience, limit all building operation for the daytime only, because it can cause the noise pollution. And the third one is the camp for the labor force, temporary office, and the workers. The significant impacts in negligent handling of the solid and sanitary waste will result in littering, others, and also vector issues, which could be harmful for the health of the worker and also all the staff there. The mitigation measure is about temporary sanitary facility must be provided. Environmental quality regulation for 2009, standard B government discharge from temporary septic tanks. The solid waste must be disposed of at a landfill and has been meets all the rules and procedure. The residual impact is sanitary and solid waste, and what we monitor is for the water quality management. Right, the third one is for the land use. The potential significant impact in the land purchased for the proper development is new residential. Thus, it need have all the vegetation cleaned up. Land instability because of the lack of vegetation. The mitigation measure is add temporary vegetation gravel to stabilize areas and the entrance for the access road. Use through to clean and tires to construction equipment and animal. The residual impact is for the soil or geology, and the monitoring requirement is soil erosion monitoring. Alright, actually for the construction phase, it contains many of other activities like earthwork project, um, construction, excavation, and many more. Okay, for the last one, the last topic, for the post-construction phase. Okay, for the construction phase, what we can do is the stormwater management and runoff, which is the significant impact because of the land use component of the project, as apparent such as a significant shift. Water quality and surface runoff will be impacted in the absence of proper drainage design and stormwater management. The mitigation measure is offer sufficient catchment area, make space available for detention pond or drainage, and discharge water where it is appropriate. It is very important because the drainage is very important for the post-construction phase. The residual impact is hydrology and the water quality, and the monitoring requirement is for the water quality control. Second one is wastewater and sewage generation, which is it contains to prior to release, waste and sewage must be managed and processed properly. At the very least, the mitigation measure, proper sewage and wastewater pipe installation and upkeep to make sure it going smoothly, and also to ensure that the water is safe to drink, routine assessment, and also influent outlet wastewater quality, including E. coli levels should be made. The residual impact is for the water quality, effluent and quality. Monitoring requirement is for the water quality control. The next for the last project activities for the post-construction phase is for the land use, which is it describes the amount of the time spent concentrating on the catchment area because the planned site is asphalt and concrete covered. So the mitigation measures as a result of the limited catchment area, there are may will be flooding. Restoration impact is proposed detention pond to prevent the future flooding in the event of the major rain event, and the monitoring requirement is create an appropriate detention pond to make sure it cannot be flooded.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faisal Amri bin Fauzi and I'm here to present to you Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. So, the introduction. OSHA, or the Occupational Safety and Health Act, was implemented with the purpose of introducing additional measures to guarantee the safety, well-being, and welfare of employees in the workplace. So, OSHA, there are two OSHA, which is workers are granted certain rights under OSHA, which include receiving information and training about the hazard, preventive measures, and OSHA regulation relevant to their workplace. The second one is being informed about and receiving the result of workplace hazard monitoring and testing. The final one is reviewing record of workplace injuries and illness. So the next one is the Act applies across Malaysia to the industries listed right under OSHA, which include transferring, storing, and transmitting wholesale and retail trades, hotel and dining establishments. So the next one is general duties of employers and self-employed person. Section 15 states that employers and self-employed individuals have a duty to ensure the safety, health, and welfare of their employees at work. This includes providing and maintaining safe equipment and work system, taking measures to prevent risk to health and safety, providing necessary information, training and supervision, maintaining a safe working environment, and providing welfare facilities. The next one is general duties of designers, manufacturers, and suppliers. Speaking of creators, many of them were named after artists or authors who made significant contribution to their respective field. Mercury takes a little more than 58 days to complete its rotation since the temperatures are so extreme, albeit not extreme as in Venus, and the solar radiation is so high. Mercury has been deemed to be non-habitable for humans despite being small. It's quite heavy. So, general duties of employees. Section 24 outline the general duties of employees at work. Employees have a duty to take reasonable care for their own safety and the safety of others who may be affected by their action. They must cooperate with their employee and comply with occupational safety and health instruction, including wearing provided protective equipment. Failure to comply with this duty is considered as offense and can result in fines or imprisonment. So, the next one is safety and health organizations. The minister has the authority to specify the industries to which this regulation applies through an order published in the Gazette. Employees in workplace covered by their section must appoint a competent person as a safety and health officer. The primary responsibility of the Safety and Health Officer is to ensure compliance with the provision of the Act and its regulation at the workplace, as well as promoting a safe working environment. The Safety and Health Officer should possess the qualification of training prescribed by the Minister. Failure to comply with the section is considered as an offence, and the offender may face a fine not exceeding 5,000 ringgit and imprisonment not exceeding 6 months or both. So the next one is notification of accident, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning, and occupational disease and inquiry. Employers must notify the nearest occupational safety and health office about any accidents, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning, or occupational disease that have occurred or are likely to occur at the workplace. Medical practitioners or medical officials who attend or visit patients believed to be suffering from specific disease or occupational poisoning listed in the relevant regulation must report the matters to the Director General. These provisions aim to ensure that workplace accidents, dangerous incidents, and occupational health issues are promptly reported and addressed by the relevant authorities. So, for the OSHA, there is two mitigation, which is noise control and air control. So the first one is noise control. So described dB are used to measure noise, specifically sound pressure levels. Air-weighted sound level, which is dBA, are commonly used as they align with the human ear's perception of loudness. Described are measured on a logarithmic scale, meaning small change in dB values result in significant change in a noise volume and the potential for hearing damage. Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) sets regulatory restriction on noise exposure in the workplace. The permissible exposure limit, which is PEL for noise, is 90 dBA over an 8-hour workday for all workers. OSHA standard incorporates for a 5 dBA exchange rate, which means that for every 5 dB increase, the allowed exposure time is halved. So the next one is air control. Construction activities contribute to air pollution through various means, such as land clearing, the use of diesel engine, demolition, burning, and the handling of hazardous chemical, thus in a common hypodract of construction sites and can travel long distance, particularly from material like concrete, cement, wood, stone, and silica. This thus categorized as PM10, particulate matter smaller than microns in diameter, is visible to the naked eye. According to the OSHA, which is Occupational Safety and Health Administration, employers have the responsibility to provide the employees with personal protective equipment, which is all we know is PPE, and ensure its proper usage. This is because other methods like injury control, work practice, and administrative measure may either be impractical or insufficient in providing adequate protection. So we come into the conclusion, which is the construction industry is known for its fragmented nature, with many individual participants involved in project-based activities. Construction projects inherently carry risks and distributed to the environment. During the construction phase of housing scheme project, several effects can be observed, including soil settlement, emission from vehicle movement, safety concern, and nuisance caused by the piling process and movement of large vehicles at the site. However, this impact can be mitigated through the following measures. Implemented proper planning and design. Careful planning and design consideration can help minimize environmental impact. This includes evaluating the site, optimizing construction method, and incorporating sustainable practice. While during the construction phase, several problems may arise that are related to impacts on air quality to increase vehicle emissions. The significance of air quality impacts can be minimized by implementing measures such as filtering, testing, emission of dust, and exhaust from vehicles. This can be achieved through implementation of a dust plant that can include proper maintenance of vehicle and regular monitoring emissions. By applying practical and effective mitigation measures, it is possible to reduce or even eliminate the mentioned impacts. The project proponents should aim to minimize significant environmental impact through the comprehensive implementation of an EMP site-specific best management practice, which is BMP, and an approved ESCP. Adequate environmental monitoring during project implementation is crucial to ensure compliance and provide valuable information for both project and process control. Monitoring help in achieving environmental management target and quality objective both within and outside the project area. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you so much.